my coworkers got paid Wednesday, and my pay did not come. First paycheck is a job. What is it with these companies that can't pay you? I just don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm still waiting on it. Let's see, FedEx overnight, and it's not around. So I went to the W place for $1.47. I get a little thing of potato and potato wedges, and some joker. When I go to the checkout, I'm looking at it. Thank God, when it rang up, and it came up $4.97, and I was like, "What the heck?" When it's supposed to be $1.47, and then and they had the food up early today. Normally they don't ever have it up. It's supposed to be up by 10. It's usually up by 11. Um, but they had it up early. Potato wedges. They're really good when they're fresh over there. But anyway, they had like 4 or 5 new people over there too. But anyway, my food ended up getting cold because I was standing at the checkout. The law manager went back there, and she's like, "There are a few extra in there." Guess what? They always give me more than that or more for $1.47. Maybe because they like me. I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of a bummer because I got macaroni and cheese and it's just about cold from standing around waiting for about 15 minutes. And this is $1.47 for this little container. And then got my milk. My milk for the day. I drink that all day long. And but if you've never had their macaroni and cheese, it's really quite good. It's actually shipped down. They don't cook it there, but it tastes like it's home cooked. It's really quite tasty. But it's all I can afford right now. So today I'm going to try to go to the washateria and get some clothes washed for this week's work. The last 2 nights I didn't go in and do any little extra time at my other job because I was just in too much pain and too tired. Standing on your feet all day at these 2 jobs is really painful for me. I guess I just can't do it anymore. And but anyway, I'm off at both jobs today, actually, oddly enough. But I really do need to do laundry, so I have clothes for work. And I'd like to change clothes for my other job, but we have to wear certain colors there. But on the other one, I go ahead and buy anything I want. So I just really gotta have clothes. Plus, I can wash my car bed too, freshen that up. Who is there? I see somebody on there. I wish YouTube would fix that where you can see the comments and they stay up. The only way for me to do it is like run it on the computer and run it on my phone at the same time. There they are. No. Another place. No payroll. I was supposed to be paid Wednesday, like everybody else. And they didn't do my paperwork until real late, like the other day. And I'm like, that's not going to affect my payroll, is it? Oh, no, it'll be here on time. And I did put direct deposit on there, but as much as I didn't want to. But I didn't get payroll check. And when they had me do that paperwork, I had to go up to the store and do like 2 hours worth of stuff on the computer. You know, and he was like telling me, yeah, when you get time, don't waste any extra gas. Just drop by. I got some stuff for you to do on the computer. You know, he didn't say anything about it pertaining to my payroll or anything. And so I went by there. I guess it was Monday or Tuesday. And if his payroll checks are shipped in from the Carolinas, um, and then if it's direct deposit, it's done on Wednesday, from what I've been told by other employees. And so, anyway, at the latest, I should have got it by Friday. Yeah, because when I went to go do that paperwork on the computer, the first thing it says is, and he was standing right next to me, guiding me through, because he said it's real problematic, so you have to have, some kind of manager to go through it with you, because you have all this different stuff you have to do, and it's like Windows 5. It's a real archaic system. It's real strange. But anyway, you have to do miles and miles of this stuff on the computer. But it said on there, like the first page, it said employee must fill this out 24 upon hire within 24 to 48 hours or something like that. And it's like, man, I've been working here, all this time, and nobody's ever had me do this. You know what I mean? So, and then I was like, this won't affect my payroll, will it? Will it be here on time? Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? On Thursday, I talked to the bosses and I said, look, when do I get my pay? Because I understand everybody else here got paid on Wednesday. And they're like, oh. So then they bounced around, and like the next day they're like going, well, okay, so we got it done. And, it'll be here probably by Monday. I'm like, Monday? So when I went in yesterday, man, this macaroni cheese is rocking good, I got to tell you. So I said, well, yesterday I said, can they by chance give me cash and I'll sign the check over to you when it arrives? Because they're shipping it to the retail store. And they're like, well, no, unfortunately we can't do that. And I'm over here sweating bullets because I'm going to pay them like $300 extra on my storages on 2 of them. And late charges that are incurred on the 5th. Man. So, I'm already in overdraft 2 times this week. So the check needs to be in the bank. I'm going to overdraft again to try to cover the storages before Monday and the late charges. Then I need to have my money. Yeah, they're not going to pay it. I did mention it to them though. Gee, it sure be nice if I could get it before Monday because, the bank. Here's the problem. If they send me a check, which that's what they're doing, then Regions Bank is retarded. And so what they'll do is Regions Bank won't cash the check unless you pay like a $30 or $40 fee, even when it's a local business. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Why should I be paying a $30 to $40 fee when I have a bank account there? So they tell you that you have to deposit the check, but don't worry because tomorrow it will be credited. So you gotta have 24 hours to access that money. So what a mess. Texas Ridge, Idaho, 15 degrees. My gosh. Huh. Actually, it's not bad here today. Um, Last night was like 66 degrees, thank God. Um, and right now it's probably about 70 right this minute. And it's murky looking outside. But it's comfortable. It's like California weather right now. But I mean, it's changing every day. It's a mess. hmm And it's so funny, the tourists are like, oh my God, the weather's so terrible here in Florida. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's winter in Florida. You know, they must think Florida's hot all year round or something. I mean, I have Weather Channel on my phone. I look at it every day. And I have to. Because I have to watch the temperature, boondocking in the car. You know, because you can die. So I have to pay attention to the temperature. But, but yeah, I'm so glad to see you guys today. What's going on? We're looking at frigid weather. Oh my gosh. I know we had some 45-degree nights. Well, people are always in Florida. Now, our busiest time is spring break. It's just nuts. Absolutely purely nuts. And mid-Florida, like Tampa and lower, their busiest time is the winter. And so, it's different. But they get a lot in Florida. That's about the second coldest temperature ever recorded in Guam. No way. 70 Fahrenheit. Ah! Guam's a pretty place, though. Very tropical. I've known a couple people that moved there and worked there. But yeah, so in the winter times over there in Tampa and in lower Florida, um, for their tourist season is mostly what they call snowbirds. It's people that come in like from Canada and the colder states. But everybody wants to go to Destin. You see, that's a big deal. Oh, Destin, Florida. It's like going to Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills, which to me is no great shakes, but I used to work out there. You know, and then the only time I ever went to Rodeo Drive was to go to the crepe place and have seafood crepes. If I was near. But other than that, it was not a big thing to me. But I mean, I grew up in California, so that's what Destin is. Everybody thinks it's like Beverly Hills, California. So the first place they go, that's the only word they know, is Destin. But there's many, many beautiful cities in Florida. I've been to everyone except for Key West. And that's always been my dream place. But they're all beautiful. They're just some of the better beaches. Now, I will say, so far, out of all of Florida, and I've had other people tell me the same thing, the best beaches are here. The sand is like cornstarch. It's the weirdest sand you've ever felt. And in California, it's stuff's like little rocks. If you want to go to the beach, you would never, and I mean never, go there barefooted. You have to wear, some kind of shoes. And to get to the waterfront. because it hurts to walk on it. But here, it's like cornstarch. It just literally, it is so soft, and uh, they're pretty. I mean, the beaches are pretty, but um, in other cities in Florida, like I was not impressed with Tampa. It's like they didn't even have sand; they had rocks. You know, and who's going barefoot climbing over some rocks to go to a beach with no waves? You know, it's like crawling over a jetty. And then um, we went to somewhere over by Orlando. I didn't like that beach either. You know, I mean, and you had to park there on the sand, which I'm so leery of parking on the sand because I've seen people appear so many times I have to call a $200 tow truck to yank them out because I'll park on the sand, and it's not a good idea. But I pulled my Cadillac up there. There's 4 other Cadillacs sitting there too. So this must be Cadillac Beach, and so it wasn't too fine, to not support a car, I guess. But here you can't do it. You can't put a car on it. And it's like going into quicksand. You'll never get out. And I've seen trucks stuck in that sand. Uh-huh. But yeah, no, everybody just, it's the big thing. Oh, Destin, Florida. Somebody yesterday told me, oh, I'd love to live there. I said, no, you wouldn't. I said, maybe in some of the surrounding cities, but you don't want to live in Destin. I said, to buy or rent is just insane money, you know? And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, well, yeah, because it's Destin. It's like saying Beverly Hills, California, Rodeo Drive. It's very expensive money. It's just the name. It's like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or anything else. 13 degrees north of the equator. Wow. But I've known a lot of people that moved there, went to work there, went there in the Navy, and they say Guam is a very beautiful tropical place. So 70 is probably really cold for them. But yeah, so met some great tourists this week. Gosh almighty. I'm really blown away because usually when I work around the heavy tourist areas, the tourists are so mean and vicious. I mean, it's so bad you have to like call security or sheriffs. They're so evil. But everybody's been just a blast. I had people come down from Idaho, Nebraska. You know that sucker cold. Um, One yesterday came down from the Bronx. A couple, very nice couple. Boy, they're nice, super friendly, and uh, but some really super nice people. So, what? I'm so tired, you guys. Oh my gosh, tired. Hopefully today I can get to list a few things on the internet for sale. There's a lady in one of my storage complexes that I rent that's banging away on eBay every day, banging away. She does her eBay in there. I was like, man, I wish it was me. But especially for this month, gosh, it's December. I should be having sale after sale. I haven't had anything in a week. No sales in like a week. I was born in Fort Walton Beach. Is that right? Fort Walton's a nice place. It's like it's really never changed. Fort Walton's like California in the 70s. It's just peaceful. It's pretty nice. I mean, we do get traffic sometimes because everybody kind of migrated. Panama City started out pricing itself to the tourists. and families weren't going to pay that kind of money to send their kids or whatever over there for that. And then the really bad part was the police and the tow trucks. They were just horrible. They just stop every car and search everybody and empty like 6 people out of a car. And it was anything with out of state tags. And it was like, they did a newspaper write up about it too. And I mean, they were just harassing the tourists to make more money. And uh, so a lot of people just grew out of that and they started migrating to other places. And so they started coming to Destin and Fort Walton, which were never really big tourist places unless it was for the very, very, very ultimate rich. For Destin, only the ultimate rich would come here. But now, everybody comes this way. And it's cheaper in the winter this year. They actually, have lowered the prices this year since the pandemic as the hotels. It's winter rate. So you could stay at a 5-star hotel for $80, $90 a night right now. Yep. Sure can. So it gives people an opportunity to be able to come here and not pay, 5 times that price. So this week I see a lot of Texas tags, Arkansas tags, a few Georgia. But now, again, those tags could be rental cars too. So it's hard to say. Because rental cars go all over the states, But it's a mild day so far today. I don't know if it'll get super hot or anything. But I'm sitting here cooling out with friends, having a bite. And then I've got to put a little more fuel in the car. And go and get my laundry together. And try to go do it. It just takes forever to do laundry at Washington. And then I go back to be able to list a couple things. But now, if I get a message that my check is there, I'm going to have to drive all the way back just to get that check and burn a bunch of gas so I can stuff it in the bank immediately. Yeah. I'm still kind of bummed out after what happened yesterday at work. That hurt my feelings. But that's why I don't make big friends with everybody at work. Oh, and on top of that, the 19-year-old girl that's one of my managers sends me a text message at like 11:20 at night with my schedule on it, which I already had, as it was on the computer while I was at work, and I duped it off, And she sends me that thing, and I'm like, who the heck is sending me a message this late? And then after she sends it, she says, sorry it's late, but, I just want to get your schedule to you. And it was like, man, I mean, I never dealt with my employees that late. I did have a girl that I knew that I used to dress in the clubs that, I hired to come to work for me on the trains. And that ding dong, she'd send me, this was a frequent occurrence at least once a month. And I knew she was sitting at a bar and she decided she would just do this. And she would send me a message and it would be 12, 1 or 2 in the morning. and it would say, I can't make it into work tomorrow, but I'll work, the next day if you need me to. You know, and I mean, that's just not even cool. It's business, you know. Um, but yeah, I was just freaking blown away. She sent me that almost at midnight. That was just so weird, you know. Um, so I thought, well, while she was there, I thought I would mention how my feelings were hurt at work today. If she wasn't there. Looks like part of Florida. Just curious. If there was a motorcycle club in Florida, there's a lot of motorcycles right around here. This is a bicycle and motorcycle respected state. Yep. They're real funny about motorcycles. I'm a bicyclist. Oh, I had a big marathon yesterday and blocked from Destin to Okaloosa Island. They made everything one lane. I was like, oh my gosh. I've never seen them do that. Yeah, it took me forever to get Fort Walton. They were kind of done with it when I come back through, but it was still a little trafficy. Yeah. But yeah, so I tell her, my feelings were hurt, and she's like, why? I said, well, I was accused of doing something by another employee by using a bunch of very disgusting, graphic, racial slurs, like a dozen of them. All right, Jeffrey, nice for you to come by. Jeffrey's pretty cool. That was just kind of, weird, but she never really responded. But she's kind of odd. She's kind of odd, like the other boss is kind of odd. They're just kind of odd. Real plain. It's like working with very, very, very religious people or something. They're just real, different. So I just kind of stay to myself and deal with customers and make sales. Because after work at Spirit Halloween, you don't want to make friends with anybody. Nobody's your big buddy or anything. You just come to work, do the job, and get out. That's it. No lie. But I did hurt my feelings that guy said that. And he said some really raucous stuff, man. This guy talked about this whatever, and it's hard to figure out if he's lying or he's just crazy or what. And I just kind of go, yeah. It's totally weird. My boss was like, well, the next time he starts talking, like that, I would just like go to the other side of the store or do something. I said, yeah, I think so. Because it's just too weird. He really talks weird. And you have to be careful what you say at your job. Especially when it I guess really describes the kind of person you are. And I mean, this guy, some of the stuff he said, it really makes you feel like he's super creepy, and just his thought process is very, very, very odd. Very odd. And if I were him, I sure wouldn't be sharing it at work, because I guess it would scare most people, but it is a bit strange. I'm just, yeah. I mean, he's a funny character. I mean, we've laughed and stuff, but he tells us these stories that are just Very freaky. So, I don't know. But well, those Jeeps, the new Jeeps got their like tin cans, I swear. When I was working for the rental company, I couldn't believe you drive a lot of cars. And one car that I've never liked for years and years and years is Mustang. I've only been impressed by one Mustang way back. And other than that, they're just garbage to me. They're like 61 Ford Falcons. And the new Mustang is nicely done, actually. On the dashboard, the engine, the way it runs, it's very nice. Um, and but the Jeeps, boy, they're just crap. I'd rather have an old 70s Bronco before I'd have one of those new Jeeps. They're just so tin canny, you know. But, and my car is like a German tank, man. And people are always banging on it all the time in parking lots. And it's a tough car. But I'm not gonna like trying to pull all the dings out of it. It's just terrible. I can't believe how mild it is today. It's really nice. Very, very nice. You can't believe all the jobs. I have so many people going over my resume that's on the internet, and you can't imagine all the job offers. I'm kidding. I already got these 2 jobs. Oh my. But the stupid job is really, right now, is kind of the best. I work with some really nice people, and they're like always happy. Uh, and it's just such an easy job, man. You just go in there and grab some stuff. I can't. I get $9 to a gallon in this car. There is no way I can do DoorDash. I am not doing it. Plus, I have to change my insurance back to commercial insurance if I do. And since I'm not transporting my own stock right now, I'm not going to pay extra to transport DoorDash food for people that most of the time don't even tip. Look, I watched my manager get DoorDash and didn't even hand them a cash tip. And she had a big old sack of it. And then one of my coworkers ordered some too, and I didn't notice them tipping any cash. And really, don't do it on the app because they spread that garbage around. DoorDash takes most of it. If you're going to order that DoorDash, try to tip those drivers in cash because they're not getting all that money. You know, I literally watched a DoorDasher and a guy, take and uh, order food standing right there in the parking lot of a hotel and give him a $50 tip, and the food came and he didn't get the tip. And they've done it to me too. They'll go, I gave you a big tip, and it's like, you know, I didn't see it. The worst one is when they ask you on the way through the traffic or you're waiting on the food, and they'll go, hey, can you go by the store and give me some aspirin, or give me some, Gatorades on your way, or a pack of smokes. And it's like, they don't realize that DoorDash times you, and the car has to keep moving, or they time it out, or they junk the order on you, and then you just lose that money right there. Boom. You can't stop and be screwballing around waiting in line to buy somebody's, you know, $5 item. I delivered one to a nice hotel on the water. My daughter was with me, and the guy was sending me a message to go by the the, the, the liquor store, corner store, and go get him, which is like 20 people waiting in line at all times, and get him some antacid or some junk. And you have to buy it with your own money. You can't just charge it to DoorDash. And so, I wasn't gonna do it. I just ignored it. So when I went to bring it, the guy says, "Oh, you got my antacid or whatever it is," and I was like, "No, you didn't order it from that restaurant." And he goes, "Well, I'll tip you on the app. I don't have any cash." So this guy, he was ordering extra stuff, and then he wasn't going to be able to pay me cash when I got there if I would have had it. That's what it's telling me. And that's not cool. Are you kidding? Man, you don't get paid that much on those orders, you know. Uh, and I don't do any stacked orders. They're not even close to worth it. But you know, I mean, I've worked where when I used to run my van, which was like 4-cylinder or something, and which still burns a ton of gas. You have to fill the whole tank before you start, and I've worked from early morning all the way till late, late, late at night after midnight, and then we'd pull up, two, three, $400 in one day, you know, that we're running nonstop, you know, and drive all the way out to Picola and work it. I would be out in Biloxi or something, or Mobile, Alabama, and just, drive all morning and all night just to make that buck. But uh, actually, gas is $2.98 right now where I'm sitting. It's gone down a few pennies in like the last couple of weeks. It was like at 3.20, and then it jumped back down, and then went back up, and in the last few days it's been going down a couple pennies each day. I'm really surprised to see it this low, and I wish I had the money to fill it. I got 20 cents off a gallon, man, on one of my gas apps, and I'd sure like to use it. And I'm not going to do it for $5 in gas. But yeah, I know it's not feasible. Plus, I can't do it. I'm working 2 jobs. I don't have time for that. I'm exhausted and in a huge pain. My knees and my legs kill me at work and after work because I'm working on really hard floors. Really painful. I have to stand all day long. There is no sitting. But yeah, my what I call my stupid job, and the reason I call it that is anybody can do that job. You don't have to have an education to do that job. You don't have to be, 80 years old to do that job. You can be 15 years old and do that job. You can not be able to, write good and do that job. You can, you can, you don't have to be able to add and subtract and do all kinds of things to do that job. It's really easy and it's peaceful because there's nobody telling you what to do. I mean, they just, they load up the carts in advance. And when you come into work, all these carts are loaded and labeled to what, section they go to. And you just pick one and roll it on out there. And sometimes when I get so dizzy from load and stop, I just go and I get, um, a cart thing, and I go around and picking up empty stuff, you know, and all that, and sorting and organizing, shelves and stuff, and then I go back to stocking. and it's just they're just really really nice there. They give you frequent breaks. You know, if you work over 5 hours, you get half hour off the clock. But other than that, I mean, if you feel like taking a break, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, they let you do it. And sometimes I'll come out and hang out with you, and we just laugh and stuff. I mean, just really nice crew that I work with. Um, I went over there last night, and they were like, "You're working tonight, right?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I could, but I'm so wiped out and in so much pain. I mean, if you really, really need me, I'll work like an hour." you know, and they're like, "No," um, but yeah, I just did not feel like it, and I was off work my first job at like 7:30, so yeah, I got out of there early, but um, but yeah, uh, that's a peaceful job, you know. So I just don't get many hours over there. I'm hoping because of the holidays they'll lock me into more hours because my one friend that manages there, she's like, just do it and get your foot in the door and you'll end up with a bunch of hours. Like, trust me. So we'll see. Yeah, it really is a peaceful job. It is nice. If you want to get away, I'm not a big fan of working for other people because I've worked for myself for so many years. So I don't have to mess with all that drama and all that crap. Um, but working for other people, you kind of have to hold your breath. You don't want to make any big friends, and just like try to do your job and get out so you can get that paycheck. You know, and just no more than that. Don't tell them all your personal stuff or nothing. Just work. So uh, I seriously learned my lesson at Spirit Halloween. Really, I did because that was a really horrible crew. Gee whiz. And I was warned in advance not to make any friends with anybody there. And that's interesting when they tell you that. Don't make any friends with anybody that works there. And it's like, sounds like they have a bad crew, which they did. Really bad crew. Man, that was that damn shipwreck crew for sure. But but yeah, yeah, you know, stupid job is really a peaceful job. It really is. I mean, it's just like the time goes by so fast. Really, it does. It goes by really, really fast. And I just work till I just go, man, I need a break. And then, I go look at the clock. And I go, wow, man, look at how the time has flown. You know? So, but it's nice. It's nice. I mean, they're real happy so far with me. I don't know. I heard I'm in big trouble because I worked on that one section the other day and straightened it all out. And there's an older lady that it babysits that apparently they've just given that to her as her little assignment or something. And and uh, the the word was sent to me that, oh my God, the manager's mad because you did that section over there. And I said, I organized it and put it in order the way it should be because it makes no sense. And I'm like, oh no, that one lady, that's all she ever does when she comes here is just that. How long can you work on that? I mean, all you gotta do is set that sucker up once, and it's right. You know what I mean? But I guess that's just a thing. You know, she might be an Alzheimer's person or something, and she thinks she's fixing it every day. I don't know. So they've kind of dedicated that section to her, but they never told me anything like that. Cause the one girl, my friend, she's like, and the manager told you that. She never told me anything about that. And or I wouldn't even waste my time on it. And but it was just the worst looking place in the whole store. So I won't be fooling with that anymore because somebody really likes that part. It's just sad because it won't sell as well. You know, it's really important to have stuff stocked right and grouped together right and all that. And um, that way people, when they're in a hurry, they come through and they just look in that section for what they need, and they see what you have to offer and they pick what they want. They're not into going up and down aisles to try to go look for all kinds of different stuff. It needs to be all in one place, and this stuff was just everywhere. God, there's nail polish over there, all mixed up colors. You'd have to go through every single bottle and boxes of stuff to try to find colors. And I put all the colors together and put them, in the proper colorization. You know, and I was like, oh my. But it's just a thing. We'll all be there one day and get messed up and, you know, be elderly and be Alzheimer's or whatever. And hopefully people will still let us work. So it's no offense to the older folks, that's for sure. I don't mind stepping back, on that. Because it gives them a life. They get to come to work, they feel useful, and they live on. It's If you'll notice, a lot of people, I've known so many people that retired out. They're like, oh, finally, I'm going to retire out. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm not doing the workforce anymore. And have you noticed how many of them get really sick and dying and then die? And it's because they have nothing to do. Their life is stopped. So retirement can be good and retirement can be bad. But generally, it kills people. So, if somebody's elderly and they work 1 or 2 or 3 days a week, and that's their joy of playing in a certain section, and the manager will gift that to them, and they come in and they reorganize it. This lady goes in there and reorganizes it every day. That's what she does. I've seen her do it. She's real sweet, and she sounds like she knows what she's talking about, but I think there's like not much there, honestly. But she's real sweet, and she's just like seriously like working on it. It's like she takes it all apart, puts it all back together, takes it all apart, puts it all back together. It's still a mess, but that's her joy. You see, she feels useful. She's getting paid for it, and she's still alive. So hopefully, people will respect all of us when we get like that, and we'll still be able to work for others and things, and no one will throw us away. You know what I mean? So I got 100% respect for that. You know, that makes somebody's sunshiny day. It's all good for me. You know, and I'm not a manager there, so it's not a big worry of mine. All I want to do is do my job. I'm not there to make big friends. And why are we going in reverse through a parking lot like this? You people scare me. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. But yeah, I've tried to stay just low because I found the less friends you make and the less you say and just kind of keep your mouth shut and go in, do that job, and get out, the better off you're going to be. You know? So, and it's sad because, years ago when I was real young and worked for other people, it was great to meet new people and make good friends at work, and we all worked together as a crew. It's not like that anymore. Everybody works against each other. People are jealous of each other. People lie about each other. People are vicious and vindictive. I really feel sorry for my youngest daughter who used to go through a lot of crap at her jobs. And I tell her all the time, and what exactly are you doing, mister, with that Cadillac? Damn, it's going to T-bone me. Um, because he's driving through the wrong way in the parking lot. Exactly. That's why. I'm like, duh. You can't tell the way the parking slots are slanted.
Oh my. Some people's kids. My. But yeah, it makes for a better day if you just go in and kind of do your job and get out. I miss the days of that banquet bartending and all that. I really love that. You know, they're kind of short term. They're like 2 4-hour deals. And the tips are super good. All you do is pour, and just stand there and look pretty. And you get paid really good money. I liked all that. And working at the country clubs and the big hotels. But yeah, I get back to what I was saying about my daughter. Um, you know, it was sad. And I would always tell her, I said, you know, go to management. You know, and if that doesn't work, go to the next management. You know, if that doesn't work, then give up. Just quit. You go get another job first, and then you just bail. And how's the problem solved? There it is, done. You don't have to put up with that, especially as smart as she is. You know, she's really good in business, and there's no excuse to have to put up with crap like that. But apparently, the market has changed so much since I was like a little kid working for other people that it's very problematic in this day and age. It seems. The people play on the telephone, and people play cutthroat, and all the stupid games that people play. That's not what work's all about. It's about making that almighty Benjamin for the owner and hoping that they really appreciate you sometime, and getting your pay. That's really bottom line what it's all about. But anymore, it's like they've let all these people get away with murder. I mean, I work with a girl at my main job. The first thing she does is sit down on the bench, you know, uh, and 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 she plays on the phone all the way to closing, and nobody will tell her to put the sucker away. She doesn't work. She does nothing, and it's like, why are they even paying her? You know, and they won't say anything to her. That's bullcrap. You know, but they let her do it. She's worked there 2 years, and they let her do it every day. The same crap, continuously on that phone, on Facebook Live, whatever it is. She just on that phone all the time she's at work. But she's also a hostess at a really, really nice um, dinner house in Destin. And she works, like, I think she said Friday. And she is a hostess. And she says, I really want to be a waitress or a busser or something, she said. And I said, well, maybe not. I mean, hostesses get paid more, and it's guaranteed money. But she, all the hostesses I worked with, even in the fine dining, you know what they did? They played on their phone. They just played on their phone. Man, if I did that, some joker gonna come up to me with an axe in hand. You know what I mean? I'd never get away with that. It's just, man, I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. But other than that, I think it's going to be a lovely day in the neighborhood today. It is, I mean, it's a little overcasty looking, but the temperature's nice. Not seeing a whole bunch of traffic. And I gotta go do some laundry. Got to go to the washateria. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I'll let you know if my pay appears. Um, and we'll go from there.
I love you. Hope everybody has a fantastic day. Do something kind for a stranger, and I promise I'll see you in the next one. I love you. Thanks, Roxanne.